Hi, my name's Andy Drudy and this is video 2 in my series of how to play jazz. This video is all about the songbook. What is the songbook? Well, the songbook is a collection of songs that jazz musicians are expected to know. It's a collection of songs that jazz musicians go to on a regular basis, and you will pretty much be, as I say, expected to know these tunes without having the music in front of you if possible, but you should be familiar with them, not only in the chords but being able to play the melody. And so what I've done is I've selected 10 tunes and I'm going to go through that list of 10 tunes and give you reasons why I picked those 10 tunes and go from there. Okay, basically everything in this video you'll find in a PDF, which is you can download in the description of below this video. Okay, song number 1. Song number 1 is All the Things You Are. In video 1 that I made, I gave you a vocabulary of chords, all the chords you need to play to start you off playing jazz. All the Things You Are is a perfect tune to start you learning these tunes, mainly because there's one thing about this song is that the key of this song keeps shifting about all the time. You could actually make a whole video on All the Things You Are. It's a very interesting tune. And so the chords are shifting around a lot. So it's a great exercise to practice your chords and practice in improvising. And all musicians know that, all jazz musicians know this tune. So it's very important tune to learn. Not only the chords, but the melody. You should be learning both. There is a chord in this tune that we didn't cover previously in the previous video, and that chord is an augmented chord. An augmented chord is a triad with a sharpened fifth, but a lot of players, and I tend to, put in the dominant seventh as well, so it's kind of regarded as a seventh type chord. So there's C7th, sorry, there's C7th, but you sharpen the fifth. Augmented means sharpen the fifth. So there's your C7th. The fifth in a C7th chord is a G. So there's your G on the second string when you sharpen it, and then that's your augmented chord. I'll put that in an appendix below. Okay, but there will be a whole video later on altered dominant chords, which an augmented chord is. So technically speaking, but we'll talk about that later on. So song number 1, All the Things You Are. Song number 2. Song number 2 is, in fact, I picked 2 songs for this song because I regard this choice as a category. The 2 songs is Fly Me to the Moon and Autumn Leaves, mainly because these 2 songs basically the chords move in a very particular way, in a very similar way, and so you should get your head around that. And the way these chords move is around the cycle of fifths. So you should be very, very familiar how the chords move around the cycle of fifths, because in jazz it happens all the time. It's a very, very common thing. So for Fly Me to the Moon, if you're in the key of C, the first chord will be A minor. So it goes A minor to D minor, so it's like you're going back in fifths, to D7 to C, back in fifth, and then so the chords are moving in a cycle of fifths, and you should be very, very familiar with, you should become very, very familiar with that way of chords moving, and you both orally should be able to hear it when it crops up, and because it crops up all the time using 2-5-1s and 6-2-5-1s and minor 2-5-1s, and these 2 tunes are a very good example of that. So selection number 2, Fly Me to the Moon and Autumn Leaves. Song number 3 is Blue Bossa. Now, why Blue Bossa? Well, a lot of jazz falls under the category of Latin, and Blue Bossa is a good introduction to that world. So basically it sounds like this. So it's got that kind of Latin feel to it. Very, very common. Take a look at Blue Bossa. Again, it's one of those tunes that everybody will expect you to know. Learn the chords, learn the melody. Okay. Song number 4 is blues. I'm not giving you any specific blues tune here because there are loads and loads of them. But basically just a blues chord progression. And you should be able to play this in any key. But if you just start off taking a look at it in the key of F, and then take a look at it in the key of B flat. These are flat keys because a lot of jazz is a brass thing. Brass players like flat keys. That's the way it is. Okay, so why a blues? Don't we all know blues? We do know a blues. Traditionally, a blues is a 3-chord thing if you're coming from a direction of rock playing. But in jazz, it tends to be reharmonized. So there's a bunch more chords in it. Traditionally, kind of goes like this. If you're in the key of F, so F, B flat, F, B flat, 7, B diminished, F, A to D, that's G minor to C7, and then a turnaround. And then you loop B flat, F, B7th, B diminished, F down to D, a variation, G minor to C7th. Okay, that's a common blues chord progression. You need to know it. You need to know that inside out. Again, learn it in different keys. Song number 5 is a minor blues. There's a whole bunch of jazz standards that are minor blueses. I haven't picked a particular one, but you should just be familiar with a minor blues chord progression. In C minor, a minor blues chord progression would go like this. To F minor, back to C minor, then A flat 7, G7, back to G or alters. F minor, C minor, A flat 7, G7. Minor blues, very, very important, really important to know. You should know that chord progression. Okay, song choice number 6. Song choice number 6 is going to be rhythm changes. The particular song I picked here is a song called Oleo. And you should take a look at these changes because, again, rhythm changes is a thing that comes up all the time. Basically, rhythm changes is this. It's in its crudest form, it's just going around in the key of B flat to G, to 2-5 back to Oleo goes. Then traditionally it goes to a bridge around the cycle of fifths. So D7 to G7, up to C, to F7, and back to 1, 6, 2, 5. Okay, so rhythm changes. You're expected to know rhythm changes, so get your head around that one. Okay, moving on. Choice 7, Ain't Misbehaving. Why ain't misbehaving? Well, basically, this is a chord progression. As you'll find when you sort of learn more and more about jazz, is that what you'll notice is the same chord progressions coming up over and over and over and over and over again. And this is a typical one because it's a very, very common chord progression. And it's if you learn Ain't Misbehaving, what will happen is that other tunes will come up and you go, oh, well, crikey, I know this because I dealt with this before, and it's just an important, I think it's an important tune to get your head around. So basically the chord progression, there are variations on it. You'll see various people playing it in different ways. But again, in B flat, it goes B flat, B diminished, then a 2/5 back to B flat, then B flat, then B flat 7th, and then the 4 chord, E flat, then E flat minor. That could also be an A flat 7th. You can, and then it just does a turnaround. So 1, 1, 6, 2, 5. It's got a bridge and you learn the bridge, but that is a very, very common chord progression that you'll see coming up time and time and time again, so you should wrap your head around that one. Very, very important. Okay, song number 8. For this one, I've put The Girl from Ipanema. Why The Girl from Ipanema? Well, mainly because this song is written by Carlos Jobim, and Jobim is a very, very important figure in the world of jazz because he wrote a whole catalogue of tunes that are just a wonderful selection of tunes that they play such a big part in the world of jazz that Jobim really deserves a category all of his own. The most common one that you will know is The Girl from Ipanema. All Latin. So, Girl from Ipanema, you can't kind of expect it to know how to play The Girl from Ipanema. If you on a bandstand, you will not see any jazz musician looking at the music for Girl from Ipanema. You kind of expect it to know it. Learn the tune, learn the melody. Very, very important. Number 9. Right, for this one, I've picked a ballad, so a jazz ballad. I mean, the two most popular ones that seem to come up a lot are Round Midnight and Body and Soul. So I suggest you take a look at those two tunes. Again, learn the tunes, learn the melody, and learn a way of and understand by listening to other people do it, listening to records, how to comp through a ballad. So take a look at Round Midnight or Body and Soul. Right, for my last choice, I've picked a song by Charlie Parker. Like Carlos Jobim, Charlie Parker has played such a huge part in the world of jazz and the jazz songbook that he almost deserves a category all of his own. The song I've picked is Donna Lee. For two reasons really. A, the chords are really nice. They move around similarly to Fly Me to the Moon. They move around within the cycle of fifths, so you should recognise how the chords move around. 2-5-1s, various different keys. Donna Lee is a fantastic tune. Not only that, but the head is kind of really challenging to play. When I say the head, I mean the melody. So it's kind of a rite of passage to learn the head to Donna Lee. It's a really challenging thing. It's a fantastic thing to practice. It's good for your ears. And Donna Lee. So Donna Lee I introduced there as an introduction to the world of Charlie Parker, which cannot be overemphasized how important Charlie Parker is to the world of jazz and bebop. So there you go, there's my top 10 tunes. Below in the PDF, I've also done a secondary list of tunes that if you regard each one of those choices as a category, I've given you a bunch more songs in each of those categories to expand this list of 10 into a list of 40. So if you get to, so you can get beyond this list of 10 into have and delve deeper into each category of tunes. So I hope you found that interesting. That's my selection of the first tunes that I think you should learn when delving into the world of jazz. Great. Please subscribe if you found this interesting. This video is part of a whole series of videos in how to play jazz, and I hope you find them interesting and watch the next video. And the next video will be all about arpeggios and arpeggiating over chords, so we can get you starting improvising over this stuff. Okay, please subscribe. See you later. Thank you very much. Andy Judy out.